In 2024, what could raise the chances of Democrats maintaining control of the Senate? If you follow the polls, you can tell right now that things are looking pretty bad for Democrats in the Senate. They would have to win every toss-up election the VP in order to maintain control. Now, I realize that there are arguments regarding the accuracy of polling, but that's not the purpose of this post. Between now and the 2024 election, what could happen that might improve the Democrats' chances of winning these Senate? Abortion on the ballot in some close ones. Florida, Nebraska and Missouri are possible. GOP primary voters in Ohio and Montana nominating the worst possible candidates. Other than that, Ted Cruz and/or Rick Scott having some big scandal to make them even more unpopular. Hundreds of thousands of people eligible to vote would have to move to places they detest to flip those states. Marijuana on the ballot. Imagine if pot winds up saving the election, Senate, democracy and the whole world. Journalism professor Jay Rosen of NYU has been urging news media organizations across the nation to adopt the following mantra for their 2024 coverage. Not the odds, but the stakes. We need to shout this tirelessly from the rooftops. And I am reusing this comment on every post where I feel it is relevant. The last time Dems needed to win a ton of races to keep their control of the Senate, they did. While everyone said they were going to get wiped out, Republicans have doubled down on being the party of government-mandated births, and the abortion issue has proven to be the strongest motivator for Democrat turnout in decades. Democrats have been overperforming in elections since 2016. There is no reason to suggest they won't overperform again. One or more resignations of Republican senators in non-solid red states that are not otherwise up for re-election in 2024? The map as it stands is pretty bad for them. As I heard it said, polls don't vote, people vote. I'm not impressed or swayed by any poll 1 year out. Pure speculation. They could lower the voting age to 12 and run SpongeBob SquarePants his friends in swing states. Be more Fetterman. That's it. Democrats don't like this constant media portrayal of being whiny by. I was listening to Mitt Romney's biographer on C-SPAN last night. According to Romney, 20 senators do all of the work, and the remaining 80 are just there along for the ride. It's time the American voters figure out who the 20 are and vote for them. Then vote against the remaining 80. The American voter needs to figure out who are those 20 and who are those 80 and do something about it. Poll numbers are homebound older ladies who answer the phone every time it rings. Biden could straight up take weed off the schedule list, and then include legalization through Congress in his campaign. That would drive a lot of turnout for Dems. Not much at all. Manchin retiring and a terrible map are what they are. Better luck in 2026. I say let the Republicans be Republicans. They have done a bang-up job of botching elections for years now. Things like abortion rights being on the ballot. Look at Ohio. I wonder what would have happened if that same question was on the ballot during a senatorial year. Also, never ever underestimate the GOP to nominate god-awful candidates. Look at the I am not a witch woman in Delaware, Murdoch in Indiana, and Engler in Nevada. The election that's in a year? Nobody is ahead of anybody, and polls this far out don't mean shit. Just let the Republican Party do themselves in. Here in Ohio, they are already looking to try and run around the constitutional abortion amendment, which passed after they tried to sneak a special election in August to bypass the amendment vote. They are also looking to jack around with our new recreational marijuana law. There is an election to regain Democratic control of the Senate. Sherrod Brown will hold. In my humble opinion, other than corporation greedflation, my economy is pretty solid. There is a shit ton of growth in Cincinnati and Ohio in general. And lots of people are moving here for new technology jobs. The possibility of one or more of the older Supreme Court justices needing to be replaced should be on everyone's mind. We cannot afford a Republican-controlled Senate who would repeat their despicable actions to ensure another conservative justice or two being placed on the court. I think it's still pretty likely don't forget MAGA is going to be on the ballot in 2024. And in a national sense, it's a loser for Republicans. It has not played out nearly as well as they would have liked with independents. It only sells in primaries and deep red states, where even then, talented challengers have been able to beat it. But abortion rights too will be out there in quite a few places. The absolute best thing, okay. Kind of too. But they only work together. Dems could do to raise their chances is get people registered to vote. And take stances that non-voters and occasional voters will turn out for. There's no chance. Democrats have to win every seat they currently hold. Which won't happen. And Republicans are only defending Ted Cruz and Rick Scott's seats. It's okay. They'll win it back in 2026. Winning red seats. That's about it. Maybe a president not named Joseph R. Biden. Republicans to run on a federal 15-week ban that keeps total bans and 6-week bans and 12-week bans as law. War, in particular use of tactical nukes. Just my morbid cynicism and insomnia. But would have to happen before and/or machine regained power. Perhaps a plane with every Republican candidate crashing? It is hard to run on a platform of failure. The best way GOP primary voters exclusively choose nut jobs for competitive seats TBF. This seems extremely likely. It'd also probably help if there's a GOP vacancy or two in a competitive or even bluish seat. Looking at you, Susan, I'm very concerned. Collins. X200B. So yeah, on the whole, 2024 isn't looking great for Senate Democrats. The GOP carrying on doing as they are doing. Look at the 2022 and 2023 results. The GOP dog has caught the car, but the car owners, women, are not happy. Joe Manchin running for re-election. Reddit hates him. But there is no other Dem that is winning a Senate race in WV. I think it's a foregone conclusion that Dems are going to lose the Senate next year. And, unfortunately, I'm miserably confident that Trump is going to win as POTUS. Also, though, I wouldn't be at all surprised if we retake the House. We meaning we Dems. I think it's very possible that we Dems get the House majority. We're just gonna lose the Senate and White House. Things were looking bad last election for Democrats too. Those polls can suck it. Abortion has proven a major issue even in deep red states. Trump has been a mixed bag, as he wins them primaries but they consistently lose in the general election. Also, them continuing to bungle the House. As one of their own said, "Give me something we can say we accomplished." The polls are meaningless at this point with the election a year away, and if you follow polls, you'll see they are wrong most of the time. NYT had Trump winning, and 3 days later the Democrats did a slam dunk in the elections. This of course IMHO. Zachary Shrewsbury in WV needs a lot of help and/or a miracle. Basically the only Democrat for the seat. I will be voting for him and spreading the word about him in my own small insignificant way. Basically everyone believes the Republican Jim Justice will take it. But I'm hopeful, smiling face. I know this is a duh answer, but what if Dems gave constituents what they want? Might work.